here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening somewhere. We're starting off. I have the bonds on here instead of looking at the dollar index because they just look inversely. So now you see all those red dots, all this right here, all this red dot action going on. Same thing in the dollar index in the reverse. It has green like that at the end there. So just thought it's kind of interesting is that what really is very entertaining is they cut the interest rates a half a percentage point up in here. And what it does, it takes it back. Right now, I think the last I saw, the 10-year is yielding, I think it's like, it's up like three eighths or a half, or so in other words, like as if they never cut interest rates. So in the open market, where the Fed likes to refer to them as bond vigilantes, that's because they can't control them, and they sure want to control them. I'm telling you, they love running the whole market. It's like that's their constant drive for I don't know what, insider trading or whatever, anything. It's like, I can't even say enough bad things about the Fed at this point. It's that goofy. And so, in the end result is there we are. They cut the interest rates, and what did they do? Obviously, when this is rising, this is the price of the bond. When this is rising, interest rates are dropping. And when the price of the bond goes down, interest rates are rising. So they go and cut the interest rate down a half percentage point, which we all thought was kind of crazy to begin with. And what are bond traders telling us? Don't like the idea. It's not a good idea. That's what it's telling us over and over again. And they don't seem to be able to recognize that. And that's the most, I guess you could say that's the most fascinating thing out of it all. You're hearing it. I hear it once in a while by the responsible people in the financial markets. I actually hear them say something about it besides myself. But in general, no. They don't. There's silence. They're just, oh, this is really good. They cut the interest rates. Yes, and guess what? Interest rates rose when they cut them. It's like, wait a minute, I'm a little confused. How does that work? It's like maybe because they shouldn't have cut them more than a half a percentage point. I mean, more than a quarter percentage point at all. The real feeling is that they shouldn't have cut them at all. But due to the fact politically they needed to do something because the president and the Democrat Party are begging for interest rate cuts, then they had to go do that. I mean they're I guess, what is that? How do you say this? The government is the one running the money supply and everything else and the lending across the planet, and you just keep on looking at whatever's going on the planet when it comes to finance, and it's being done through our system. That's crazy, right? I mean, I think it's crazy, but that's just me. I'm always complaining about the insider trading and the government, and you can see the distortion, and I'm always out there rambling about that because it's a fact of life. We see it all the time. So anyhow, all right, and that is the 30-year bond, and it says, cut, go ahead, cut, but I don't care. Now let's go take a look at the dollar index. Slide it down to there. Where's the dollar index there? There's the Bitcoin too. We'll take a look at that, baby. Oop, let's give it a rewind. And there is the dollar index itself. See, it's just a reverse. Well, a lot of green going up. It keeps on moving. Where are we at this point? Let's make this bigger. So we are now. We are trading at 103.20. We're at the highs. They cut the interest rates here. This thing's supposed to roll over. Remember, when American interest rates go down, people sell dollars. When American interest rates rise, they buy dollars. And there's the example there. So, who's the bigger, I guess you could, how do I phrase this? The bigger question, or the more greater reality out of it all is, what it really comes down to is, um, who's right. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Who is right? And obviously, it's not the Fed. It's not the Fed. No, definitely not the Fed. So obviously, because how do we know that it's not the Fed? It's because they can't keep the market down. The market can't go down. So, and that is the magic of that. Let me just double check one more thing, and then I'm off to our next adventure. Right there. So was that June 30th? Okay, good. So let's go minimize this whole thing there. Okay, so now from there, full exit. Excellent. There. I don't see any questions being fired out by anybody. Is anybody even here besides me and Robin? Hello. Hello. Yeah, we got a few bodies here. No, actually, I don't see. Do I see? Oh, yes, we do. I see 4 or 5 people at the moment. Excellent. Seems like we go through about 200 people coming in and out throughout the hour. But overall, it's kind of slow and quiet, especially on Monday morning. All right, and so we just showed you the 30-year bond. We just showed you the dollar index. Let's go take a look at the euro itself. Let's see what the euro is up to. I think it's, slide down further, of course. Let's see. There's Swiss, there's yen, there's cable, and the dollar one is right. I mean, the euro one is right here. We're going to have to relabel that and put that in there so it makes more sense. Let's see, where's it at? Euro. We'll find it in a few seconds. It's not far off from here. Euro on the wall. There it is right there. No, that's Swiss. Maybe we did put it in there. Did we do that? Now that's the NASDAQ. I know it's that's the GBP. There it is. That's the yen. That's the Swiss. It's right around here somewhere. I know it's very close by because I always think, oh, why don't I just change the name of it so it jumps out more? Now, why don't I see that? I know where it's at. It's up at the top. That's right. We tried to put the name in, and we did. And there it is right there. It's up at the top for some reason. Okay, and here we go. Here is the euro. And the euro was in a sell pretty much all the way up until today. It's trying to get into a buy. It's working to get into that buy. You see we've been green for a couple days. Still in the sell yesterday on Friday. And you can see here it's trying to lift into the plus side. Oops. Let's give it a refresh. Whenever it does that, you just give it a refresh. You hit the refresh signal there. And this way you get a better, cleaner picture of it. And then we go like that. And there it is. See a little strength trying to come in there today. And when we go up and we look at the chart itself, right here, you can see the other way around. It's lower. Look at that. It's a gap down. So I love those when they gap it down and we go into a daily buy. I love that. Usually it's like a zoom, it's like, yeah, free money. In this case here, it's not really running. It's getting clocked. Let's put it that way. It's down towards the lows. Let's go show you on the other platform right here. It's reflecting a little bit differently because they have the open, high, low, and close different on the beta at the moment. And let's go show you it to you right here, and then we can go back. You see that? See, it's taller, and it's still in the sell, and you can see that weekly sell there. And then when we go like this, and we go back over to here, and we go like that, and exit the full screen, you can see weekly sells right there for 3 full weeks. And let's see, what is that? That's this week. And so at the same time, it's been in a daily sell gliding down. And by the end of the day, it wouldn't surprise me if it finds a way to roll over again, since it's already rolling over, in the sense that it's gapped down. And the gap down, let's just show you to you one more time on a bigger screen. And you can see here the gap down. It's even with the high there and the open there, it's lower. So it's telling us that there's pressure on the product. All right. From there, we'll go take a look at the GBP on the beta. Let's see what the GBP looks like. To there. Let's fix that too. There we go. And get that one going also. Oh, we don't even have the, let's get rid of that. Go like that. Put that in there like that. There we are. And then let's get the spreadsheet back up there, like so. There it is right there. You can see that. And you look on the, excuse me, let's have a sip of water here. All right, and there is the euro right there. You can see that, it's been sliding down. It's 3 weeks in a sell, and it's 8 days in a sell. Cable is 2 weeks in a sell, and 8 days in a sell. And let's show it to you right. Let's see right there. Lots of red. I think on here it's 14 or 15 days in a sell. And, matching up to the weekly very clearly. And in this case here, this product is still gliding down and not having that same distortion as the euro. And I'm sure it'll clean up the euro. That's the way it goes sometimes, especially on a Friday to a Monday, that type of thing over the weekend. At this point, I know where I want to go. Let's go over to here and look at the old platform. Right, where are you? Right there. There we go. And it's, doing that same thing with that pressure. This is going on a 9th day, going on a 3rd week, the whole bit, just lots of fun for all. So that is the action we're seeing in the currency market here, is that the dollar is going up because interest rates are rising over here. Now today is a banking holiday. It is Columbus Day, celebrating the discovery of the West Indies. And that means, the edge of South America and North America. So this was like we know the Templar Knights were here about 2 or 3 centuries beforehand, and the Vikings were here maybe even, way more sooner than that, and they've even found Hebrew some. So the Israelites were here somewhere along the line. People used to pop into this place, but the weather, it takes a very sophisticated society to survive here. That's probably why the American Indians didn't do too well here, and were kind of kept. They didn't really grow. It's a very tough place to grow, and when you open the doorway to capitalism and free markets and free people, it's the only way you can survive here, because it's so harsh weather-wise, especially when in the era of when you had no electricity and you had no gunpowder, and you had no lots of things that were that didn't give you growth and ability, and you tried to live say in a very simple way. It was a very dangerous place. I know that the Dutch came here and lasted a year, and then the Swedes and the English came here a year later in 1614 or something like that, and survived. Maybe because they were a little bit more capitalistic, I don't know. Maybe it was just one of those harsh winters around here. It could be almost anything. So at times it can be like living up in the North Pole. So it takes definitely free markets and free people and a very coherent individual group to survive around here. All right. So from there we'll go over to the Swiss, and there is the Swiss. See, the Swiss is still marching up. Again, dollar index going down. Dollar index going up. And so all the currency pairs are finding ways to lose money against the dollar. Or let's say lose against the dollar, not necessarily money, but just lose against the dollar, because the dollar is becoming dominant from Probably the confusion. People want dollars. They feel like it's the place to be. It's odd. As much as a lot of hedge funds have been begging for China to kick it up, they don't have the ability to kick it up. As we talked about last week, the best they can do is a tenth. Is it a tenth? It's like a tenth of what they need to do, or a 20th. They really need to do a lot more than what they're doing. Some estimates are 27 trillion won. They're putting up basically 1 trillion won. That's it's even worse than a 20th. It's even it's very tough. It's not good. And so we're seeing some gains in the Chinese market, from the sugar high, that the stimulation. And as you can see here on let's put the beta up there again. And on the beta here, take a look at the Chinese market from last night in Shanghai. You can see right there. It lifted a little bit. Let's see if we can do this. There's a full screen to it. It lifted a little bit. It's still in a sell. You can see there. And that's yesterday. And they had off Friday. It was another part of the lunar holiday. And then you can see here on the, let's see. There it is right there. Let's do this. Let's refresh this. There. So you can see right there, that's basically today, because the last time it was the 10th. So, and then Friday was a holiday. And so you can see just underneath, it's bouncing. Look at the size of that spike. It's adjusting for the sugar high, the explosion, and they pushed it into that cell. And, it's been sliding down. As you can see right here, it's been sliding down through it all. Let's do it this way. We have so many tools with this now. Oop, let's grab a hold of it one more time. There we go. And you can see that right there. See how it, as soon as they got going, after all that sugar high, and no more money coming in, they dropped it down. We'll see if it rolls over more, plays down in here. You can see it's pushing into a weekly sell as we speak. Also, at the same time, there's pressure on the longer term trend. We're not expecting too much. I can say that. We're not really expecting too much from it all in the end. It's definitely in a situation where they can't get their act together. That's really what it comes down to. And like I said, they're spending 1 trillion. There's speculation out there that they need to spend 27 trillion. And even if they spent 14 trillion, at least it would be a start. But I think markets have no real confidence in them because of that situation. They don't even recognize, they just don't recognize what the issues are at this point, which is really odd. For somebody that wants to be the second largest economy in the world and wants to be the world reserve currency and all that stuff, you got to show that responsibility. If you don't show that responsibility, it really makes it, makes it a problem. It really does. It makes it look like they don't know what they're doing. Ooh, is that it? That might be it. I think that's it. So if I go like that, can I copy that? I want to send this over to Robin. Let's see. We need to send something to Robin at the same time. So I've been trying to hunt it down. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, there we are. So we go like that. And go like that. And like that. And we'll get to it again. I think I found where I can send it to you, Robin. So anyway, that's where we are with it, with the Chinese market, and we've seen what cable and the rest of them are doing. So let's drift back to that again and take a look at the yen, because there is the Swiss. The Swiss is the inflation fighters. And even that, as much as we see it hesitate, it is losing against the dollar still. And then from there you see the yen. There's the yen. The yen. Let's see if we go like that. There we are. And you can see the yen. You know, it's also lifting up. You know, we've been concerned that it was going to break into those 50s. It looks like it is. You know, it's climbing into those 50s. And it doesn't seem to be holding anything more than that battle. So, let's see if that does it. Copy. See if that opens up to it, Robin. Let's see. Alright, there we are. I'm going to minimize that now. I'll send it over to the Robin. I took care of that. And from the yen, what else do we have to say about the yen? Let's take a look at. I'm going to go over to the Nikkei and see what they did last night with the Nikkei. The Nikkei. Oh, all right, let's do this. There's the Nikkei. You see there, Nikkei looks like it was rising. You know, it's definitely rising. You see that? Because Friday it was down and they were closed, I guess, too. Oh, no, that's the 11th. Okay, so they're not showing the Nikkei today yet. We're not getting Nikkei. Not sure why not, but just is what it is. And you can see here, here's the daily algorithm. It's in a sell for the last 3 days. And then we go to the weekly. You see the weekly is in a buy. So, you know, let's see. Let's take a look at that. So we've been in the sell. I guess we went into the sell on Thursday. And then Friday. And we'll see what the Nikkei has done today when it finally, maybe they were on holiday too. Remember, there's a, you know, the Chinese were closed on Friday. It wouldn't surprise me if the Tokyo was closed today. That would not surprise me at all, because that kind of makes sense in many ways. Nope, that didn't do it. Let's see, delete that. So now from there, let's go to, where are we going here? We go over to the Great Experiment. And you'll see what the Great Experiment looks like this morning. It jumped into a buy on Friday, and now it's pushing back down again in a sell. And we're on a 4th week, so that's really cool. You know, it looks like we're going to do that 5-week excursion. I had a feeling we might. I just felt like they, you know, it's not going to go far. You know, it's definitely not going to go far. But unless they got something up their sleeve again, I don't know if they can come up with anything else that they've already done, you know. And it looks like we're pushing into that sell here as we speak. And we're in the weekly sell. But I'm not really sure there's any other game they can play. You know, they've tried giving away free puts. They've tried lowering rates and spending incredible, was it lowering rates? Yeah, I guess lowering rates and spend incredible amounts of cash to hold the rates down. That didn't seem to work. I thought the put idea was the best, giving away free puts to buyers of the stock. I'm sorry, the currency. So to me, it seemed to last for about a week and then died. So obviously there was a little caveat about who they thought would fit inside the rules of being able to get free puts. And obviously what they did is they must have chased away, you know, a good slice of the market. So it didn't last more than like 3 or 4 days, and it, you know, boom, it was right back into that insane ride up, you know, just doubling again or something of that nature. From there, we go to the South African Rand. The South African Rand pretty much right there, you can see it's trying to drop the last couple days there. That was Thursday and Friday. Now here Monday they're lifting it up again. And when this thing rises, it means that it's losing against the dollar. And when it's losing against the dollar, usually gold has a natural tendency to find ways to go down in value. So let's take a look at that. There it is right there. Gold is just down a little bit, nothing major. Was it $8 or something like that? You can still see it's very firm in the buy. In a weekly buy, you see there on the chart, but look at this on the screen. On the screen, we're looking at a weekly buy now of, what's it, 14 weeks? 15 weeks? 15 weeks. Look at that. 15 weeks. We're going on 16 weeks now. 16 weeks. We're heading for 16 weeks. That's a quarter of the year, right? Let's see. 16 is 32. That's a third of the year. It's almost a third of the year it's been in a weekly buy. 1/3 of a year our weekly buy signal's been on since, I think it's like the... Oh, let's go back and see if we can actually see when it went into the weekly buy. Back there in July. It was at the end of June. It was trading at under $2,400. It was $23.75. $23.75. Today we're trading at what, $26.75? $26.68. So we're basically 300 points up. That's a little more than 10%. Gold is up 10% since we've been in the buy. So that's not too bad. It's a nice move. In a product that, has been a challenge for a very long time. There's no doubt the metals market is a great long-term investment. It outperforms paper all the time. Unfortunately for gold, though, they don't usually pay dividends in gold. So you have to buy the gold stocks. And then I guess you could say when we go and look at... I guess that would be interesting, is putting a gold stock up on the beta. Let's see, let's go find a gold stock for that. That would be interesting. I'd love to see if we can get the Philadelphia gold stock index. That would be really nice. Let's see if we can find that right there. Let's see if we can get that up on the screen. Philadelphia there, get rid of that H. Let's try this. Let's go this way. Let's do it this way even more. Philex Gold Index. Overview of the XAU. So let's see. Let's see. Yahoo. There's Yahoo. Okay, so that's what they do. They put the little comma thing in there. Let's see if we can get this up on the beta now. Copy. And then let's go to the beta and put that up there. And then maybe we'll get a picture of that. Products. Add. Paste. Whoa, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, okay. Wow, look at that. There it is. And then gold, silver index. Create the product. There we are. Now let's turn it on. All right, and then let's turn it on for Robin too, so Robin can see this. There we are. Now, go to there, scroll down to there. Bing, bing, and bang. Nice. Very nice. All right, now, what was it? The beginning of June. Was that what it was? Yes. So the index was basically, or the end of there was like at 137. Let's just use 137 and round them out. If it goes to 137.48, we'll call it 50, or 55, we'll call it 50. So 137 even. And you can see the high now has been 168.75. 168, 130. Was it 137? Is it really that low? Yeah, 137. 135, 137. Let's just leave it at 137. And now it's 168. There's the high, 168.71. Today it's trading at, let's just show it to you on a big screen. Really, really big screen. That was the close of Friday. And it was trading at the 160 area, 159.50 area with a high of 161 and a quarter basically. So since here going into the weekly buy right in here, we've seen it go up, come down, challenge it, come back up again. That's interesting. Is that there's one of those classic gap down and finds a way to get into a buy at the same time. I love that, especially when you're in a weekly buy. Then it's like free money. And you can see it's nice and choppy, no doubt about that. And you can see here they've set up this nice high over here. And let's see, what else can we do here? Let's go and take a look at it on a very long-term basis. There's 6 months. There is 1 year. There's 5 year. Last time it was this high was back in April of 22, where the product was at 169.76. 169, and here the high is 168.71. So going back since 2020, there's your challenges right there. That's that resistance area there, right there. You know, it seems to be that's it. So then when we go back to the beta, you see it's trying to climb into the weekly sell. It did. It closed in a weekly sell last week. We're in daily buys. You can see that. So that's pretty cool. You know, it's so that's this. You know, this is all the, I guess you call them the manufacturers. They're the miners, and they pay dividends. So obviously we went from 137 to 167, basically 68. So you're talking about 30 points. That a 2 is a pretty good return. Now you're talking about something like 30% return. Is it 30%? It's like 23% return on the product. 23% return, even better than gold itself, and you're getting a dividend. So it's been a really nice move there. You know, it went into the weekly buy back in, is it July? What is that? That is July 9th. So July 16th, not July, I'm sorry, 8. So that's August 16th, it was in a buy. Then we were in a buy before that. You can see in here somewhere, where is that? That is, what is that? Let's make this bigger so we can have a better feel for it. Then we were back in a buy here, which is July 12th. So we must have gone into a buy a couple weeks before that. Then it, sold down. You can see the volatility. We've shown you that. Let's just show it to you again. There, you see how it can fly back and forth, and so it's red. The beta reads that weakness even more. So, all right. So. Oh, you didn't even see any of that. Darn it. I thought I changed that. There we are. So you can see that it shows you the weakness because of that action in there. We went into the weekly buy in gold itself right here, and then but the XAU, the silver gold index that pays dividends, broke down, went into a sell again, and rallied up again, and broke down again. Because it's much more sensitive than our old platform, which is to me is very positive. A very positive thing. What else can we say about any of that? Just that what a winning trade. A lot of times people buy the gold stocks and they just don't perform as well as gold. There's no doubt about that. But in this case here, it went up from 137 to 167 in the same time period. Actually, a little bit higher to 169. So, and you could even lower the 167 down to 135 and change the week that it went into the buy. So, I mean, you can do a lot of tweaking there, but in the basics is that you're looking at a 20 some odd % gain compared to gold having a, was that 15%? Went up $300. So we went up $300, and it's like a, what is that, like a 14-15% return overall. So it just shows you the strength in that dividend thing a lot of times. Sometimes it underperforms, sometimes it overperforms. In this case here, it was over. You know, it moves slow. So now from there, where do we go from there? We go over to, since we're looking at the South African Rand, let's just show you that one more time. There's South African Rand. It's trying to pop up. We saw gold was dropping off a little bit. Let's take a look and see what silver is doing. Where's Silverado? Silverado. There it is right there. There you go. You see here, it's in a sell still, feeling its pressure. It tried to lift up. I thought it went in the old platform. We went into a buy. Let's see if we can just show you that. I saw that, you know, because you see it on the spreadsheet. It's in a buy. Gold was in a buy. Now they're going into sells today. You know, no, actually they're still in a buy. There's gold in a buy. Let's just show it to you there. Yeah, there's the gold there, and here's the silver. Same situation, went into that buy, and you see the weekly here is really having some issues. It's really broken down this morning. Gold weekly breaking down, but nowhere, it's not breaking through the zero line. And then today we see copper, the gold of China, trying to lift up. It was earlier, now they're selling it down again. You can see the weekly is drifting on the sell side. And then you can see also here is platinum right there. See platinum flirting with the weekly sell, but it's holding up much more firmer than the others. It is down to, you know, it closed at 994 basically, and we're at 991. So Friday they closed at 994, $994. Today it's at $991. So platinum is, you know, feeling some of that pressure with it also, but you know, it's trying to hold up just like gold and silver. Whereas copper, I guess they're losing their hunger, or I guess, you know, what is it? They're losing their desire for the sugar high that's coming out of China. I think that's what it comes down to. And then, let's see, where do we go from here? Let's pop that up. Where is it at? Let's go over to the beta again, and let's take a look at the energy sector. That's what we do. We go to the energy sector. So you can see here, there is West Texas Intermediate, American crude oil. And you can see there it's trying to roll over. Let's make this biggest. Ba-boom. Down a little bit. Actually, last I looked, it was like down $1. Let's see, where is that? I guess that is $1. You know, I mean, that's, let's see if we can go like this with it. Look at how great this tool is. So it closed on Friday. They're saying at, am I looking at the right thing there? That's, no, what is that? This is not the crude oil. What are we looking at here? Oh, somehow or another we got feeders on there. Let's try that again. There's the crude oil right there. There is the crude oil. All right. Let's see. So, there we go. And this, oh, I need to send this to Robin. Here you go. I finally grabbed it. Now that I got a second here, let me just grab this and compose it for you. paste. And then here it comes through Chicago Quant, Robin. There we are. Let's see. Double check it if you can. Doesn't matter. I'll double check it after the webinar. So here it is. Here's crude oil, and let's make this bigger now. And you can see here, crude closed on Friday at $75 and basically 56 cents. So we'll say 50, 75.50. Today, let's see if we can do this. Make it even more exemplified. Look at that. And so today, it's trading at 73.88 versus 75.55. You're talking, if it was 73.55, you're talking two full dollars down. It's basically $1.70. Down $1.70 today. Crude oil right there. Let's take a look at West Texas. You know, they work at, oh, let me go back. Too late. Let's go to West. Let's go take a look at Brent. There it is right there. There's Brent. Same situation, I'm sure. They work like clockwork. In this case here, let's give it a refresh. And let's widen this thing. There's the 14th. It's moving down. It closed on Friday at 79, basically. And it's trading at 77.44, down at $1.56. And you can see it's been in a weekly, daily buy for a couple of days. And at the same time, I noticed heating oil, crude, they're all still in their weekly buys. You know, we'll see how they treat them by the end of the day. You can see here, heating oil, same situation, the derivative of it all. Right there, same situation. At one point, we had a red dot here this morning. Very close. You know, it went into the weekly buy back in here, and they're trying to roll over. You know, I'm not sure what the real answer is to any of it at this point. You know, there's no doubt that there is a question mark about what they're doing, why they're doing it, so forth and so on. When it comes to the energies, you know, they are concerned about Israel responding to the aggression by Iran. I don't think they're going to waste their time just blowing up something they can blow up, not thinking twice about. So I think they're looking on the big picture. Israel's looking at it and saying, you know, this Iran is a real problem. I guess we have to eliminate it in its entirety of crazy. So they'll figure out something where maybe the government changes over there. Government, was it when they get angry when Americans do that? Government, they change governments on a foreign country. In this case here, I think they may go support the population. The population is against the government, and the government has the guns. I guess maybe they'll drop 1 million guns or something like that. You know, just airdrop them and hand it over to the people so that they can basically take control of their own country again. That's what I'm thinking. From there, what do we got here? We go to, so we've seen Brent, we've seen, you know, West Texas. Here's West Texas again. Let's just take a quick look at the weekly, just real quick, to see if it's breaking down. So far, not anything at all. We'll see how the trading day goes with that. Now, from there, we go over to natural gas. Nat gas has been in the sell now, I think, for about 4 or 5 days. Up on the spreadsheet, what do we have on the spreadsheet there? Natural gas is 4 weeks in a sell. 4 weeks in a sell? No, 4 weeks in a buy. And you can see this week it's starting off in the sell right there. You can see daily-wise, we've been 7 days now in a sell. Lots of red, lots of pressure, and now it's joining in, the weekly and the daily, joining in together. Maybe we're not really seeing where we're at now. We're in the middle of October, and we're not seeing anywhere near the cold on the Northeast as we normally do. So yesterday was an 82-degree day, 81 degree, I don't know, something like that. So waters are slowing on the planet because of the melt of the glaciers, and what's going to happen is that obviously if you have 100 degrees below zero and 80 degrees, or say 70 degrees above zero, right? And so you do the two together, that's 170 divided by 2, so it's like 170 is like 8, I guess it's like 75 degrees, or let's see, what is that, below zero, above zero? So we're probably only about 30 points above zero. So it means we're colder on average, not hotter on average, when you look at it that way. And actually it's even colder, so because of the melting of the caps are coming from the shift of the North and South Pole. They're off a couple thousand miles now. And for some reason, the environmentalists never seem to tell you about that. How about that? They talk about global warming or global cooling, but they don't tell you that the North Pole has moved 2,000 miles over the last couple of decades. I mean, that's a lot of can you move 2,000 miles by walking over 2 decades? I don't know about that. All right. From there, we go over to, let's see, who do we go to next? That was natural gas. So, and we did show you heating oil, the energy number one tool they use for heating the engines on airplanes and heating, getting them to run hot, making them hot and blow out their flames, or diesel engines and so forth. Let's take a look. The last one is the energy company down in Spain, which I think it's been showing weakness, right? It's basically behind the curve. Ahead of the curve. Yeah, it's been showing weakness. See, it topped out about 3 months ago, and it's been in a weekly sell now for 5 weeks. So it's feeling that pressure. Now it's come down, not a lot. From the 14 area to the 13.24 area, which is still a pretty big move for a $14 product to go down to 13. So you're talking about like a 7% drop. So it's been breaking down much more than the energy sector. Energy sector has already done one of those. We've seen crude oil go down to $1. Let's go back to crude again. Because it was just recently down in the 160s until the Iran fired almost 200 ballistic missiles at Israel. Let's see, where's it at? There it is, right there. So you can see here we have been, there's a full screen there. We got, no more than in the first week of September, going in the second week of September, 4 weeks back, we were trading in the $64, $64.60 to be exact, $64.61 to be exact. Right there, you see the low, $64.61. So, ran all the way up to $78.45, $14 move, and now we've backed off down to the 71.5. Today we're pressing down to the 73.5. Low was 73.41. Now we're at almost 74 as we speak. So we've off from the highs here, and it does have that look like that is a big peak. It took out this, which is interesting, and now the bigger question is: will it take out this low, or take out these lows right here? And let's see if we can. What is that? That's the. Where is that? That is. What is that? That's like 71.5. So if we go take out the 70 area again, which it's done before, made a new low there, and if this high doesn't take out this big high here, which it doesn't look like it's doing at the moment, they will take out that low, and we'll be in the 60s, and that's why home heating oil and natural gas and all that other stuff is finding ways to go down in value. All right, that finishes us off in the energy sector. Now from there we go over to, we saw Tokyo. Let's see what, I understand the Chinese are fooling around with Taiwan again. Let's first take a look at South Korea. There's South Korea. Excuse me. There's the 14th. Okay. This is widen it so. So that's the 14th today. It was up. It's been a little firm. Second day it's not in a sell because it's not a red dot there, so it's still in the buy. But it never got into the buy because why, traders? It's in a weekly sell for 3 weeks. So any buy signal is more just to cover your shorts, but not get long. And sure enough, it's been finding ways to go down more than go up. In this case here, it went into the buy there. No, where was it at? That is the 7th. Let's just give this a refresh. Take a look at the 7th. There is the 6th. So it wasn't a plus. Went into a buy on the. Let's see. There's the 6th. There's the 4th. There's the 7th. There's the 8th. These holidays really make these things wacko. Since it's foreign in exchange-wise, it makes things odd. So it may have tried to get into the buy here, but didn't give you anything reason to do it because we're in weekly sells. Now let's take a look at Taiwan. Taiwan is under siege again in its own esoteric way. The Chinese keep on floating ships around it, pretending that they're trying to invade it when they don't have the ability to do so. And you can see here, it does not care. It's like the honey badger. It does not care. And it's in a weekly buy, and they don't care. They're way off their lows of 19,600 and a half. And now we are at 23,000, basically. 22,975. So China could care less. Who's this? Dennis Quaid now speaking out in California. Wearing MAGA hat. Wow. Yep. Wow. Yep. Wow, look at that. Dennis Quaid. Campaigning for him. Elon Musk is campaigning for Donald Trump. I don't know if you're hearing any of this stuff. Matter of fact, Elon Musk was really funny. He has a black mega hat. He calls it Mega Dark. And he's like I don't know what he's out there. They say he's campaigning in Pennsylvania with his own team, for Trump. I mean, Trump's got people campaigning for him that you would never think would be involved. Was it Elon Musk says if Trump doesn't win, we will never have more elections in America. They just think the Democrats are totally totalitarian fascists at this point. But the the media and the world media, they're into totalitarian, so they like the fascist thing. They're definitely into it because they support these criminals all the time. Anyhow, that is Taiwan. It doesn't care about what China does. I like how the new president of Taiwan told Beijing, they said, you keep on threatening, but, we have rockets that can hit Beijing just as easily as you can hit us. So I thought that was like a wake-up call, but nah, X didn't care. All right, now from there, we go over to, let's see, the Singapore Straits Times. And we can check out Hong Kong, too, see what Hong Kong's up to. Let's try both of those. Here's Hong Kong. Right there. Maybe they were open. Anything's possible. Now they're showing that as a down day today over there. And you can see it's still in the sell. And it's flirting now. It's starting to flirt with the weekly sell. So just like the Shanghai index heading south. Let's see where the STI is. STI is the Singapore Straits Times. Let's see, there it is right there. There's the Singapore Straits Times. You can see it's firm again today. Yep, it's firm today, but it's been in a sell for a few days here, and it was in a weekly sell last week, and it looks like it's trying to climb back into the weekly buy. We'll show you the last two indices. We'll give you DAX, and we'll give you where's the DAX, and we'll give you the FTSE. Give you those two, and then we're going to get out of here. DAX. There's DAX. DAX is in a buy for a couple days now, like over a week. And it wasn't a weekly buy, but today it's flirting with the weekly sell. I'm starting to see some weakness in there. And then the last one we'll do is the FTSE out of London. All right, traders, this is Doc from North America. We will catch you tomorrow, same time, same channel, doing the same thing here. You can see FTSE's up a couple days in a buy, and it's also going after the weekly sell again. So, it's if it wasn't for the U.S. Federal Reserve, these products would be much lower. Let's put it that way. All right, so happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart trading day. Ta-ta for now.